I wanted to talk right now while my wife is in the store a little bit about Hello Saints. I'm going to give it just a minute for people to get in here. So, if you're watching this after the live stream is finished, please make sure to share the Book of Mormon. Be part of this challenge that I'm doing on the channel. Even if you don't report it to me, just share the Book of Mormon. But ideally, report it to me. That way, I can keep track of it. And it's a big group project. It encourages other people to want to do it if they're, they feel like they're part of a big thing. And it is. I don't know how far it's going to go, but hopefully, I kind of have this um, desire to get to 10,000. I'm working on it myself. Um, I need to get on that. Have I had any success so far with sharing the Book of Mormon? No, but people don't like me in real life anyway, so it's no surprise. Becca is here. Hey, hey. Hey, Becca. Welcome. We got 27 people here. Um, Michelle Vallejo. Hi, Jared. Hello. Welcome. All right, so I want you guys to put in the comments or in the chat a why if you've watched Hello Saints, or if you know what that is, what that channel is. Hello Saints, put a Y. Twin Angels, I really need to get in this challenge. Yeah, do it. There's not like a time limit. Just do it whenever. Shay Goodwin is here. Becca and Terry Water says, yep. So, Twin Angel says, yep, or Y for yes. So, I'd like to get your guys' opinion about this channel. I don't really know what to make of it. Let's see, Shay Goodwin, haven't heard of Hello Saints. What is that? Okay. So Hello Saints is this evangelical pastor that created a YouTube channel, and he is learning about the church. But basically what he's doing, from what I can tell, is for example, right now he's reading the Book of Mormon, and he'll read it, and then at the end of his reading, like at the end of the video, he'll kind of point out the stuff that doesn't make sense to him, or he doesn't quite understand. It's basically, from what I can tell, I think what he's doing is a sort of like YouTube proselyting, where instead of taking the vinegar approach, the phrase where it's you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. I think that's basically what he's doing. Let's see. Aaron Pena says, Hello Saints has been interesting to watch because I'm curious to see his analysis from a completely different religious spectrum. Twin Angel says, listen to Quick Media about him. Robocop 1800 says yes. Karen Grudinger says he's awesome. Yeah, so I think what he's trying to do, I don't think that he has a genuine interest in us as far as learning about the church. Maybe he does. Maybe he does have a curiosity, but I feel like essentially he's on a mission. And already I've seen some people kind of start to have questions about different things about the church that he's bringing up. Carrie Brown says, I love watching Hello Saints, love his perspective and seeing things from another angle. So, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Now, I kind of do something similar where I've been talking to people from other faiths, right? I want to build bridges, but I don't have a YouTube channel dedicated toward a single religion where I'm looking at their text, and then the intended audience is that religion. So for example, I talk to a lot of Jews, but my channel is not geared toward Jews. It's talking to you guys, people that are already members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and kind of looking at what they believe, seeing what could be applied to our beliefs or things that we have in common, and then picking out maybe little insights that they have that we don't, right? And my hope is that whenever I talk to Jews or anyone from anywhere else, any other church, that little seed will be planted, that they'll look back and think kindly on the church because they had that contact with me. Whereas with Hello Saints, it looks like, from what I can tell, he's like outright wanting to take, like I said, the honey approach to trying to get people to step away from the church. That is that's my takeaway. Um, let's see, Carrie Brown. Okay, Michelle Vallejo. No, I don't know what Hello Saints is. I just found out about Gospel Voice on my Alexa device. That's all LDS content, including the Saints book, which I've started listening to. Robocop 1800 says no genuine interest. Let me open the trunk for my wife. She's back from the store now. Aaron Pena says, and sorry, I don't know if it's Pena or Pena. I'm assuming it's Pena. It's also fun watching his reactions to different things in the LDS religion and how they're different. I think he does have this genuine curiosity, but he admits he is not. He admits he is not looking to convert. Well, and that's if you take his word for it. And I don't know, because I don't know his heart. I can't see inside of his brain. But I feel like if you're a pastor of another church and you're taking interest in another church, it's probably not because you're shopping around for another religion or just because you're doing a fun study. I think that, like I said, he wants to take a kind approach and possibly put doubts into your head about the church. Because, like, for example, I know that he went to conference, like he did the episode where he went to general conference and he was talking to the people that stand outside. If you haven't attended general conference live at the conference center, what you'll find, and it really sucks, is as you're walking into the conference center, you have all these different groups with picket signs. Basically, they think that they're doing something good. I assume they feel like they're being like missionaries, and they're like they yell, and sometimes, like, I saw one time they had a picket sign where they had a pair of garments, like the temple garment, pinned up on a picket sign and saying, holy underwear is not going to save you. And generally, it feels very mean spirited. The people at conference, and uh, the Hello Saints guy, I think his name is Pastor Jeff. I'm not sure. He's like, that's probably not the best way to do this. And so I think, and he like had a conversation with one of those people. And I think that what he's trying to do is he's trying to do the opposite, where, he realizes that if you're telling people to their face that they're going to go to hell, they're probably not going to be very receptive to you. But if you take the approach that he is, he's hoping that he can stop the barrier from coming up and, you know, softly refute different things about the Book of Mormon, the church, whatever. So I just I'm not so sure that I think it's the best thing, because I feel like he has a clear agenda. But he's kind of like masking it as, hey, I'm interested in you and I'd like to look and see what your church is like from an evangelical point of view. I don't think it's as um, innocent as that. Let's see. Becca says, agree with you. I stopped watching him. Moroni reviews. To be honest, I just get weird videos from him. I don't know. He could be good. Yeah, and he could. Oh, and then Moroni review says weird vibes. Yeah, you're getting weird vibes because I think your subconscious, maybe your spirit or the spirit, is letting you know, hey, he wants you to step away from the church. Ideally, I don't. Again, I don't think he's not taking the aggressive approach, but ultimately, I think that's what he wants. Joe Sign says, I grew up around evangelicals. I've got a lot of negative experiences. Hello Saints is a breath of fresh air. I think because of him and The Chosen, it'll be an easier transition when Christ comes. I sure hope so, Joe. I think it's mostly good because he's bringing more of this is from Terry Waters. I think it's mostly good because he's bringing more of the truths of the church to light versus the rumors and misconceptions that people have about the church, and helping explain some different theology. And that's good. It's good if you're able to keep that point of view, Terry. I'm worried about other people that maybe aren't as strong in their testimonies and easily influenced. they'll look at his channel and be like, wait a minute, I've never thought about that. Or, he makes a good point. Like I have a friend of mine that recently texted me and said, can you explain what, like he was talking about how there's not a need for the priesthood anymore. And I was like, don't, and I'm going to talk to that person and explain it. Uh, my understanding, and I could be wrong, is that their belief is, since Christ came, there's no more need for a priesthood like there was before in the law of Moses. Because in the law of Moses, you had the tribe of Levi. Within the tribe of Levi, you had the sons of Aaron, which were the priests, and then the rest of the Levites were the Levites, and that was the priesthood. Christ came, he fulfilled um, the prophecy, the point of the law of Moses, and therefore there's no more need for a priesthood per se. But again, if you're new to the church, you just came back to the church, or maybe if you've always been in the church but you haven't really studied things through, I think that it could be not a good thing for you watching him without solidly understanding our doctrine first. Let's see. Dayston says good morning from San Clemente, California. Good morning. Over here it's afternoon now, right? What time is it?
Yeah, it's afternoon.
Yeah. Twin Angels, God has taken Jeff to the true church. Give it time. I mean, we'll see. And I think that's what a lot of us are hoping. Like all of us, like the way that our minds are geared is like we're a very missionary oriented church, right? We see the need, the necessity to join our church in order to gain exaltation. So it's not like we're like, oh yeah, just make sure that you're Christian and you're good. We want people to join our church. So I think a lot of us have that natural desire for him to maybe over time realize that the church is true. And like, wouldn't that be incredible? That would be really incredible. It would make for quite a story, and I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for. I'm not holding my breath for it though. Nancy Roach, hello from Albuquerque. Terry Waters, one thing I'm personally struggling with is how closely he's analyzing things, and people are taking his personal thoughts for truth rather than encouraging people to read the scriptures and pray. Yeah, because it seems like he's kind of taking that approach where it's not about prayer, it's about, thinking and thinking about how to interpret scriptures. And from what I can tell, I don't know because I have limited experience with other churches. I'm not aware of any other church that'll tell you to pray to know that their church has the correct interpretation or that it's like the most correct church or whatever. And that's a big problem, I think, in Christianity is this tendency to think about things rather than listening to the Spirit. Although I am sure that there's people that do pray and feel guided to one church or another, but no church that I know of officially will tell you, oh, pray to know that this is the right church, because they don't have the same concept as we do about that. Janet Manning is here. Hello, Janet. Robocop 1800. I see a mountain of other resources and materials to focus on instead of spending time on his channel. And I would agree, especially if you are not solid in the gospel. Okay, because again, there may be answers to questions that you haven't looked up yet. Either you haven't had the time or you just haven't done it yet. Betty Macro, the 97th. What's up, boys? El Paculi. Hello, Jared. Can't wait for a conference in April. April seems to have more and more Easter eggs every conference. No pun intended. Yeah. I can't wait either. Just so you guys know, if you're new to the channel, whenever conference comes around, I do a live stream after each session. On the Saturday sessions, I will monetize those videos, but on the Sunday sessions, I will not. I think that it's valuable to talk right away after each session and see what everybody came away with. Dathan says he wouldn't be spending so much time on something without some kind of agenda. I get weird vibes. Yeah, because you know what's up. You know what he's trying to do, Megan Villarreal, I watch to help me understand what many of my friends' beliefs are and how they could possibly view my beliefs. I think it would help me talk with them with more mutual understanding. Yeah, and that is something that you could come away with. Just make sure that your testimony isn't shaken. If he says something that hits you and you don't know the answer to it, then just look it up or send me if you have any questions about what he says. I will do a video every single time he brings up something that disturbs you or kind of shakes you. Okay, Vince Williams. Vince Williams. Good afternoon from Vermont. Oh, you might be my first person from Vermont. I'm not so sure that I've heard from anybody from there on the channel so far. So, hi, Vince. Terry Waters, he's done interviews with other LDS influencers, and I just cringe sometimes because some of the questions he's asking gets them flustered and they don't give answers the way I would have liked. Yeah, and that's like one thing that I'm kind of struggling with right now because I'm wondering if I want to talk to him or not, but I'm not sure if I'd be able to. It'd be it'd be much harder for me to maintain my composure with an evangelical than I would with like the Community of Christ or any other church, Catholic or whatever. Evangelicals seem to be the most hostile, generally speaking. I'm not talking about individuals, but just in general, the most hostile toward our church. They seem to get really giddy, letting us know that we're going to hell, letting us know that we, what we believe, because there's always the, oh, you Mormons believe blah 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 blah, as though I don't know what I believe. Um, and then the worst one is, them telling us that we believe in a different Jesus. That just drives me crazy. And so I just don't know. And just like, it's kind of like it. I know that their point of view is basically that what you're supposed to do in life is you're supposed to get the right answer, that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. Um, it's the ABCs of salvation. My understanding is that that's what evangelicals believe. The ABCs of salvation. That number one, I think, is you admit that you're a sinner. Number two, you believe in Jesus Christ, that he's the Redeemer. And then C is you confess with your mouth
that Jesus is the Christ.
That Jesus is the Christ and you're a sinner. I don't know, something like that. And then as soon as you do that, you're saved. That's all you got to do. And so the thing that upsets me, and that I think that's their justification as to why we're not going to be saved, because we believe in a different Jesus than they do. And so because their thing is like, oh well, your Jesus is the brother of Satan, whereas my Jesus is the creator, is God, and the creator of Satan. I don't know. So it's like disturbing to them, and I think I would have a hard time because, and I'm not trying to be holier than thou, but when you look at the difference between them and us, it's like we live the same commandments. We read the Sermon on the Mount, we obey the 10 commandments, and then additionally we do things like we don't drink alcohol, right? We don't smoke, we don't chew tobacco, we don't get tattoos, we don't
Smoke.
already said smoke. Our women don't dress immodestly. Any number of things where it's like, why are you coming to me, okay, when we're already keeping all these commandments and then some? If the point is guessing that Jesus is the right answer, then go to the Buddhists or go to the Hindus or go to like these people that don't even believe in an Abrahamic religion. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I don't understand what the benefit would be for them to try and work on us. But anyway, I don't know. Let's see. Aaron Pena. I guess I can see your perspective, Jared. I feel pretty strong in my testimony of the gospel, and I actually enjoy listening to different opinions, thoughts, and ideas to see how others think and why. Yes, and so do I. And that's why I do all these different interviews, and I plan to branch out and talk to other faiths. What I'm trying to get at here is that he has a pretty, I think in my mind, he has a pretty clear agenda what he's trying to do. He's not just curious. But I do like to learn, and I want to know more about evangelicals. That's why I would even consider maybe talking to him, because I'd have so many questions about what they believe and why. Mary says, hi, listening. Joni's here. I think God's working through him. I'm being patient, watching his journey and praying he'll find truth. I get irritated that he doesn't see the truth right in front of his face. I feel like it's so plain. But the thing about that, Joni, is that he has to be open to the truth. And I think that he already, like I said, he has an agenda. He believes that he already has the truth, and he needs to point out in a soft way to us why our beliefs are not correct. Or how we're missing things. Because like recently he just did like a video, I think, about the great apostasy, and I was watching like a tiny bit of it, and he was like questioning, like, well, was there really a great apostasy? And just putting like doubt into the mind of Latter-day Saints. Joe Pro's here. Hi, cousin. Hello. Let's see. Aaron Pena, as we come closer to the second coming, we are going to have to know how to interact with and be open to others and where they are coming from. If we know where they come from, we can better minister. That's true. And make sure to watch my video that I just put out, like my most recent one, because it's all about that. It's about Muslims. The church has an interfaith relations portion of the website and in the church newsroom. Yeah, I think it's critical to understand them. I'm just saying, just be careful that you don't understand them to the point where you are one of them. You become one of them. Clint Ray, I don't think he's the honey approach. It seems to get a better understanding of LDS faith. Felt like he missed the crucial point. Also, it's easy money to get from members because we are willing people. Okay. Aaron Pena, are you going to talk to him? I addressed that earlier. Aaron Pena here from Reno, Nevada. Becky, I agree with Jared 100%. It took a lot of heat for him to even read the Book of Mormon. He's a theologian and knows if he really wanted to look into it, he should start with the Book of Mormon. Joe Pro, hi from Tennessee. Lorna Eubanks, if someone is curious about the church, they may look to him for answers instead of missionaries and get led in the wrong direction. Yeah, right. And I don't know, maybe that's part of why he's doing it. He wants to like stop other evangelicals from joining the church. So maybe it's not necessarily to convert us, but to like be a voice against us among his own people. Joni, the Joyce genealogist, I do think he's doing this for profit in the end. That's yeah, that I mean, that could be. Although just with my own experience with YouTube, I don't think that he's making like a whole lot. Last time I checked, I think he had 38,000 subscribers, but he doesn't do videos every day like I do. And the reason why I do videos every day is because this is now my job, and I like survive off of this at this point. Which originally wasn't the original intention. I was just going to keep doing graphic design, but like this ended up making enough money to where it's like, oh, now I have to do this, which I don't mind because it's basically a dream job. But for him, for it to be worth it for him, he'd probably have to put out more videos. But I don't know. Twin Angels, I think deep inside him, tug of war is happening. Talk to him, Jared. No more honey. Time for meat. Maybe. Because I also don't want to like start any contention, and I need to like rein myself in, because I feel like I'm pretty under control, but sometimes, as you know, on the channel, I kind of let loose a little bit too much or say things that I regret later. So I don't want that to happen if I was to talk to him. Cognitive resonance, I think he's learning and sharing. He gives his perspective and highlights differences in beliefs. We do this with other churches. All the paranoid muttering about Pastor Jeff is sad, in my opinion. Are you talking about me? Dude, I'm not going to take insults. I'll block you if you're talking about me. That's rude. Jill Osborne, I like seeing how Hello Saints perceive things because there are answers to each of his concerns, and having those answers ready to respond when people around us bring up similar concerns. Becky Walton, the name of his channel is Targeting Us, not other evangelicals, to help them understand what we believe. He's targeting our weaker members. That very well could be, and I think that's probably right. Lola Granola, the chicken doula, says howdy. Amanda Lee, evangelicals always tell me I am not a Christian. Phil and Molly waits. Side note, do you think the prophet will ever announce that the Savior is here? Or will we just know? Any thoughts or feelings on this? It's hard to say because I've been trying to figure out the different appearances of Christ. So like with Adam on Diamond, I've considered the possibility that it's happening right now, and that's what some of these special area devotionals are part of. So if that's right, he hasn't announced it's explicitly. I don't really know. At some point, we will know for sure, but as far as him announcing it, I have no idea. But you do have to look at like the Christmas devotional um, where Elder Neil L. Anderson, he said uh, at the very end of his talk, he closed it by saying, "Joy to the world, the Lord is come," as though he was making like a factual statement. And you know that "Joy to the World" is a Second Coming song, so I feel like maybe he was alluding to it. Joni says it doesn't benefit him temporarily to join our church. Um, Becky, although the Lord can turn anything into a positive for His work. Yep. Aaron Pena, 3 words to tell him: agree to disagree. Yeah, I could do that, but like I said, it almost feels like condescending. Like I said, and I'm not trying to be holier than thou, but I really truly think that on average, if you matched up any Latter-day Saint with an evangelical, the Latter-day Saint would probably be living a more righteous life, like living in a higher, holier way. I'm not trying to put down evangelicals, but not only do we keep the commandments, those of us that are good, you obviously have individuals that are Latter-day Saints that are just trash. But if you take the good ones, we go like even further. But for them, for evangelicals, it's not about works. They'll tell you that you can't be saved by your works. It's by faith alone. And hence you have the ABCs of salvation. All it takes is believing and confessing. I don't think they even believe that baptism is necessary. So it just feels like condescending. And I would just have a hard time just being like, what, we're living better than you are. Go to some other religion that doesn't even believe in Jesus Christ. I don't know. I don't mean to come across prideful, but that's just kind of like the way I think. Angela McKee, I've watched him from the beginning. Love how Greg Madsen is using his own platform to explain things to Pastor Jeff. Disappointed that this is your reaction. Well, don't be disappointed. I can have my own opinion. Um, I'm not saying that he shouldn't do it. I'm trying to warn people that are probably a little bit more frail in the gospel to be careful. Betty Horn just caught this. What did I miss? Sorry, Betty. I can't go over all that. Kevin Anderson, I agree with you. People are led away line upon line. If you ever met the adversary, he'd come across as a nice guy, but with ulterior motives. Yeah, because it's the frog, the whole frog metaphor, that you put a frog in a pot of water, and you slowly turn the heat up, and that's how you can kill a frog without them even realizing it. Zybarth is here, checking in. Clint Ray, Signey Rigdon, Pratt Brothers, I don't know what you mean by that. Gail Hollingsworth, I love your channel. Thanks, Gail. Christy Brabby, hi from West Jordan. Michael Burns, most people only see the truth they are looking for. It all depends on their agenda. Is he searching for truth or just trying to get viewers and dollars? Gil Hollingsworth, we have to rely on the Holy Ghost. Dayston, the LDS Church is the truth on the earth. That's why people come for us hard and not other religions. Clint Ray, maybe do some reaction videos and give you a teaching opportunity. Interview him? Haha. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Twin Angels' unshakable testimony is all we need. I like Jeff. Conversion is a process. Bernie Hill, if that brother is reading the Book of Mormon, it all along will lead him to the church. But you can read it from front to back, but only doing what Moroni 10, 3, 4, and 10 verses 3, 4, and 5 says will get his answer. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Liberty Off-Road. Wasn't he Jeff McCullough on Quick Media's YouTube channel recently? Yeah, I think so. I think his name is Pastor Jeff. Terry Waters, he has a Patreon account, so he's collecting donations essentially. Todd Matthews, hello from Happy Valley, Utah. Mark White, hi from Georgia. Elsa Katharina Botha, I think he's trying to prove us wrong. Kathy Fisher, yes. Janet Manning, read your scripture, know them, listen to the prophet, the Holy Ghost will tell you. Again, I'm kind of, this always happens. I always like fluster some people, ruffle feathers. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I think there's people that need to be careful watching his channel. If they have a weaker testimony, they're newer to the church, whatever whatever the case may be. Okay, you want to be familiar with our own doctrine first, and unfortunately, my experience in life is that not everybody in our church does the work that they need to do. They don't do the amount of scripture study that they need to do. They don't. They just don't do the work, listening to the prophets and being familiar with our own beliefs. And so it's easier for them to fall to the wayside. I'm not trying to be a jerk. GMC Concord, hello. I would not join in on this conversation or watch his videos. Even if you think your testimony is sound, the devil is devious and will throw in 10 truths to squeeze in one lie. Yeah, that's true. Michelle Viejo, Satan is working his hardest to get people to turn from the only true church on the face of the earth today, and he's using Hello Saints as a tool to get to those who don't have testimonies. He could be. You know, we can't like say for sure. I cannot tell you Pastor Jeff's true intentions. I cannot. Nobody can. That is a possibility. I'm not going to say that that's not a possibility. Certainly, it could be. He could be just exactly how he portrays himself, that he's interested in the church. I feel like my senses tell me no, but I'm not going to say what he believes or what he's really doing. I just want to issue a caution. That's all. Clint Ray, Liberty Off-Road. Yes, he was. Okay, I'm not going to go back and figure that out. Dayston, the adversary could be working through him to subtly lure people away. Who would spend so much time on another religion without an agenda? Exactly. I feel like that's just like common sense. GMC Concord, we can figure out what to say to non-members by being fluent in the scriptures through prayer and relying on the Spirit to guide us what to say and fill our mouths when needed. Ruth J. van Bakel says, hi from Netherlands. Hello. Welcome. I'm not sure if there's been anybody else from the Netherlands. Welcome. I'm glad that you're watching. Caden Seth Mercer, enjoy listening to your YouTube videos. This is Caden, aka K-Dog. Welcome. Sherry Johnson, hi from South Carolina. GMC Concord, Jared, I would not talk to him. I think it would be a bad thing. Not because you don't know what to say, but because this guy is not interested in learning the truth. Yeah, see that, and that's like the other part is, if I were to interview him, then I would be potentially, like, unwittingly giving him publicity, or like introducing him to people that don't know him, and I don't think that that's the best thing. You know, if you're really interested in evangelicals, then I mean, there's any number of YouTube channels, websites, ways to like learn about them. I'm not sure that that's the best. That's maybe a good point, GMC. Bella Christensen, love hearing your opinions and look forward to hearing from you each day. Good. Glad I'm. Thank you. The Haystack watch third Nephi in parallels with what we are learning. GMC, he's only interested in saying that we are wrong. Denise Cowley, hello, with a wavy hand. Elsa, Katharina, Botha, I agree completely, Daystan. Jill Osborne, when I went to the temple last week with the new changes and images of Christ, I had the thought that at some point those images may not be of an actor depicting Christ, but an image of Christ himself. That would be amazing. Cognitive resonance. I was not accusing you of paranoid muttering. Vetting him is fine. A lot of people are accusing him of being insincere just because he's not interested in converting. Okay. Thank you, Cognitive. See, sometimes like I don't know the context in which people leave comments or chats, so I'm glad that you clarified that, and no hard feelings. Thank you for watching the channel. The Haystack, acting upon belief equals faith. Melodilin, I would suggest you not interview him if you have so many suspicions about him. I don't think it would go well. You're probably right, and I do not want to come across as negative, aggressive, contentious. I do not do the debate thing because that's not how you change hearts and minds. You know, on my mission, there were some companions that I had that felt that that was the way to go. You know, we would sit there and argue with Jehovah's Witnesses or Seventh-day Adventists or whatever, and it doesn't do anything. That's not how you convert somebody. It's just like somebody said earlier. It's Moroni. What is it? 10 verses 3 through 6. I can't remember. 3 through 5. That's the way. It's the Holy Ghost. It's the Spirit. So, yeah, you know what? I'm glad that I'm talking to you guys because I think that's probably the right thing. I'm not going to go off and keep like talking about him. I just thought that I would do this one video. Maybe if he ends up doing anything like really outrageous or creates a lot of waves, maybe I'll comment on that if that ever happens. But I think you're right. Maybe I should not do that. Liberty Off-Road to cognitive resonance. Lots of people investigate with other motives than conversion and end up being converted by the Spirit. It could happen to him too. Alan Child's videos. What is your belief of the church being fined $5 million by the Securities and Exchange Commission for not being transparent and putting tithing funds in shell companies? Well, I already did a video about that. I don't know if I can really expand on that right now, but just go check out my video that I did. Generally speaking, I'm not really worried about it, and I trust our church leaders. If they did something wrong knowingly, fine. Like, everyone's capable of repentance, and I'm just not that worried about it. I don't think that they intentionally, just whatever. That's not the point of this. Just go check out that video, okay, Alan? All right, thank you. Hi from the Netherlands. We love your videos. It doesn't show your name. It just says I for the profile picture. Awesome, great. Zybarth, many members think we need validation from evangelicals. Yeah, I think you're right. I think sometimes we get caught up with like, no, I believe in Jesus Christ. Like, no, believe me, I really do. And that's not the point. You know, I think some of them, like, okay, every church, including our own, you have people. Sorry, I'm looking for my keys. They fell. Are you doing okay?
No, I want to go home and sleep.
Gosh dang it. We're having a really good conversation.
I know. Just drive to the gas station and keep it going, and I'll get gas while you.
Oh, okay. Here, will you hold
Yeah,
this?
I'll hold it.
How about you talk for a minute?
I don't know what to say.
Just talk about whatever.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Tell them what we're doing.
We're driving to the gas station to get gas, and then we're gonna go home because I didn't get much sleep, and I'm really tired. So, I don't know what to talk about. This is why he does the channel, not me. And we're at the gas station, so I give you back to Jared. You guys all have a good day, and I love it when you chat with him. Okay, here you go.
Hold on.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
We're just at a grocery store, so we went to the grocery gas station. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I think a lot of people, they feel the pressure from outside groups of people. So, for example, I've talked about this before on the channel, how growing up, I felt like there was always that group of people, that wanted to appease the California culture, lifestyle, wanted to adopt it, wanted to fit in. And I think the same thing happens in the church when we want to be accepted by other Christians. It's not fun having enemies. Nobody wants to have enemies. And so you look at evangelicals and it's like, hey, we believe a lot of the same stuff. Let's be friends. But then they like keep pushing against you. And it's like they want you to go to hell. I'm not saying that all of them do. You know, a lot of them would say, no, I really do care about you. I'm trying to show you the way. But I think others, the toxic portion of them, they love telling you that you're going to go to hell. Goblin, hello from St. George. I am on my lunch at work. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad that you're spending your lunch here with me. Zybar says, it's not that we don't respect evangelicals, but we don't need to wait for them to do or say something that we feel is them validating us. Elder Anderson said that we will get to the time when other Christians look to us. Yeah, and I think that that's already starting to happen, because Christianity, I feel like it's starting to dissolve. Like I've talked about before on the channel, and I talked a little bit about it with Linda from the Community of Christ. These denominations are starting to kind of like crumble, and you're starting to get more non-denominational churches, or people just practicing Christianity on an individual level, and that's it. They don't want to have anything to do with organized religion. So I think as Christianity starts to kind of like go away and dissolve, the people that are true, you know, they have a testimony of Christ and they want truth, they will find their way to us, because we're not we're not going to dissolve. Melodolin, Jared, your channel focuses more on end times and the second coming. That isn't what Hello Saints is about, so maybe he's not appropriate for your channel. That's true, but I would say, like I said, I do like learning about other religions. I want to talk to Muslims. I want to talk to more Jews. I want to talk to anybody that I can, because yes, that is the main focus, but I also do genuinely want to know more about them. And like I said, I don't mind planting some seeds myself, but I'm not taking the same approach that Pastor Jeff is, because it's not like that aggressive of a thing. I want it just to be natural and establish some friendships. And hopefully they'll look kindly upon us in the church and feel friendly with us. Elsa, Katharina, both, while I was watching his first Come Follow Me lesson, quote unquote, he kept repeating, quote unquote, not religion. I had to leave the live stream because it just confirmed my suspicions. The Haystack, he is interested in us like we are interested in him. Well, again, we don't know. Nobody knows. You cannot say truly what somebody else is thinking or feeling, unless you can like read their minds, which only Heavenly Father can do. We don't know his true intentions, but that could be. Hopefully he is interested, and hopefully it'll lead him to the truth. Lula's World Fair has a presenter who was evangelical and converted to the church. Each week she gives insights on how to understand their views to help as we share our views with them. Oh, there you go. So if you're interested in evangelicals, maybe go to Fair. Sorry, I hope it's not too loud. Go to Fair and watch that. Watch an evangelical that has joined our church, and then they can explain their views. Elsa, Katharina, Botha, hi from South Africa. Oh, hello. There may have been a South African before. I'm not sure. You may be the first one. I can't remember. But that's awesome. Welcome. Hi, Jared from Washington with starry eyes. Hello. Terry Waters. He specifically said, sorry, that when he started this, it was all for curiosity's sake because he didn't personally know much about us. I think over time it's changed. I could feel the change in my soul. That's possible. Again, I do not take people at their word. You know, like I'll treat people with respect. I don't just like outright call people liars. But just because somebody says something doesn't mean that they're telling the truth. Just because someone knows how to act like a good person doesn't mean that they're a good person. You guys, people lie. We live in a world where people lie. So you can't just take people at their word. You have to observe people over time. That's the best way. If you want to know who someone really is, you watch them over a period of time. You look for red flags, you look for green flags, and then you add it all up. And then even then, you don't know the complexity of their soul and who they are, but you have enough information to be like, I probably shouldn't be hanging out with this person or listening to them. So that's the best that we can do as human beings. Treat people with love, respect, give them the benefit of a doubt, but you still have to observe over a period of time and then take actions based off of that, and maybe even pray about it, depending on what the situation is. Sorry for the coughing. I'm going on Monday to the doctor. We'll get it figured out. Liz Botema from Netherlands. Retchie is my sister, and we love your videos. So cool. That makes I love my international viewers. It just makes me so happy. All right, guys, we're done pumping gas. Unfortunately, I have to go. Maybe we can do a live stream later because it seems like there's a lot that we could talk about here. Dang. I wish I could talk more, but I gotta go. So check out the videos that I did today. The first one I probably didn't do a good job with, like the thumbnail and the picture, but it is pretty interesting. And then as far as like talking about other religions, getting to know them, watch the other one about President Nelson reaching out to world leaders, because President Nelson is doing a lot as far as like doing interfaith activities, and it's really cool.
Let me say something.
Oh, Jenica wants to say something.
Sorry about my impromptu stuff. I don't do well that way, but I do want to say I don't think Jared should interview the guy. I know him well enough. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be. Not that I don't love Pastor Jeff, but I just I don't want to have any arguments, contention, and I think it'd be better just not to do it. And I don't want to like attack him. Otherwise, like I said, if he does something like big, then I'll probably comment on it. But otherwise, I think that this may be the only conversation that I have about it. Maybe I'll hop on later today and we can talk more about it if you guys want to. Let me know. If you had more that you wanted to talk about, put it in the chat or in the comments below. And then depending on that, I may do a live stream later today. All right. Talk to you guys later.